Hello everyone and welcome back to another Train Sim World 3 Class 700 video. We're on the Southeastern high speed route again, and we're doing a rush hour service through the Medway towns, I suppose up to Dartford, what's our head code? Our head code is 9 Papa 12, Rainham to West Hampstead Thameslink, so a bit more out of the usual, as basically the majority of services go to Luton. But this one goes to West Hampstead Thameslink, which is, considerably less than Luton. I mean, West Hampstead Thameslink is, only 2 stations out of the Thameslink core. So, yeah, it basically just goes into central London. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to take a trip to Dartford. We've got 700,035 for this service. We should be able to go probably relatively soon. Let's get the doors shut. Probably want to get the safety systems on as well. Always good to have them on. Wait for it. Operational. Right, let's go. Next station stop will be Gillingham. Good old Gilly. As we make our way out of here. Yeah, Rainham platform 0. There's 2 stations on this route which have a platform 0. There's Gravesend and Rainham. Out we go though. I'm hoping we might get stuck at a few signals on this service. Just the fact it is 7:28 or 7:30 in the morning, so sort of prime rush hour time. Well, maybe another half an hour or so, but still, it's rush hour-ish. Well, it is rush hour-ish. So yeah, maybe we'll even get a red. As so far, we've basically mostly only had yellows whilst doing these services. Yeah, we've chased yellows quite a bit, but not had to sort of stop for a while, which I suppose is a good thing. It means the timetable is, I suppose smooth, and you don't get bits where trains sort of come together and have to wait for ages. And I think some in the update we got just before the release of this train, it was a couple of weeks when the Class 33 service is released, I think that actually did alter the path of some of the early morning services, because I think more now use platform. Is it platform 1 at Rochester? I think a few more use that now to sort of allow another train to sort of quickly come in and stop on the other platform, I think. So we've got Gillingham, Chatham, Rochester, Strood, Higham, Gravesend, Northfleet, Swanscombe, Greenhive, Stone Crossing and Dartford. So we've got quite a way to go. Yeah, it's about 45 to 50 minutes. So a relatively nice amount of time for a service. And the time this video is going out, it should be about an hour until the release of the 700 on the console, so Xbox and PlayStation. If you're watching this much later than, the upload date of this video, then don't worry, it'll probably be out already. Down to 60 as we come up to Gillingham. What we got in Gillingham Depot. Hopefully nothing. They better all be out doing services, and I think they actually are. That's actually quite surprising, because usually there is, there is a train there, so there's a 375 into the main shed there. But yeah, probably the emptiest have actually seen it. And we can enter Gillingham at a relatively high speed. I mean, the brakes on this train are very good. Very responsive. I mean, you probably could enter the platform at around 50 miles an hour with sort of full brakes on and maybe come to a relatively nice stop. But we're going to be slightly more careful and come in at about 40. I was saying that, I think I have actually come in at 40 on the 465 as well, as that's another train which has very good brakes on this route. I don't know, why have we got that marker there? Let's get rid of that, we don't need that. Here we are, this is Gillingham. The first of, well, so Rainham's the first of the Medway towns. But I suppose this marks the start of the really close together stations, Gillingham, Chatham and Rochester and Strood. The Medway string. I haven't seen many of these Pringles machines. Apparently, I think I don't know if it's a certain time of day, but you see like an NPC walking up to it and sort of filling it up. I don't know if that actually ever got added in. Mine popping Pringles. Nice. It's just nice to see some real advertisements, and this is on Xbox as well. So it's nice to see some real advertisers jumping onto Train Sim World. Although I know that was part of some sort of competition, but still, it's cool to see it. Nonetheless. Right, 10 more seconds. About 20 seconds before departure time they shut the doors. And now. Right, let's go. It is Chatham next. And you'll be quite quick on these services as well. Thameslink, don't hang around long. You gotta just go. They're still up to 60 at this point. When it comes down to 50 and then down to 30. So let's get that up. Then we go into Gillingham Tunnel. And big thanks to Dovetail Games as well for giving us a key to show off the 700. Was very, very sort of privileged to be it's a pleasure to be showing off this train, as it is one of my local trains. So makes it even better for me to be playing. I mean, it's not on my local route. In fact, my ones are usually dash ones, but still, it's 700. So it's great to be showing it off. And I imagine a lot of people watching probably have been on this train, because if you've been to London, they run straight through the middle of London out towards Brighton. They go everywhere. Sevenoaks, Orpington, Sutton, all round there. Wimbledon. I think even as far up as King's Lynn. I saw not that long ago that Great Northern had nabbed the 700 for a service up to King's Lynn. I don't think that's a common thing. But yeah, you just see them all over. Obviously, the majority of the time they'd go up to Cambridge, Peterborough, Bedford. And obviously out to Rainham. Is that a floating house there? I've not noticed that, but was that house floating? Oh my god, it is a floating house. Must be some sort of erosion. It's going to tumble down onto the tracks. Love the reflection of the screens as well. There's a javelin. Honestly, one update I am looking forward to is when we actually see the Thameslink stop markers. Because at the moment you've got to stop on the, well, I suppose sort of the sort of standard ones. So I look forward to when we actually do see the actual stop markers. Yeah, this is Chatham. A light here for Dovetail games. Two stunning trains together. For a second I was going to say both Hitachi, but no. This is not Hitachi. The 700 is done by Siemens. So Hitachi being Japanese with the 395, I think Hitachi's Japanese and Siemens is German. Oh, we're a little bit early. We did that last time as well at Chatham, we shut the doors early. Chatham Station. Cool. Well, we'll get them shut in about 25 seconds. Where are they off to? Oh, okay. Oh, you're going back. Not trying to sneak into the tunnel, are they? Suspicious. Well, they're saying that I'd probably go and walk up this end of the platform. See trains whizzing out the tunnel. Got a 375 coming in, just trailing behind that Javelin. I wonder if we've actually got anything behind us. We do, yeah. That would be a 375 that behind us. So lots of chasing yellows that's on certain services. I mean, there's probably even one behind that 375 which has just come in. Or soon to be. Okay, there's a little bit of a gap until the next one. Now, it seems like there's actually something in our platform at the moment once we get to Strood. Well, I'd imagine that will be out the way by the time we get there. Let's have a look. What train? Is that a Javelin at Strood? Yeah, so that'll be one of the peak Maidstone services. Look at the light as we come out the tunnel, though. One of the big improvements we saw of Train Simwell 3. There it is, though. We all got to like the... I mean, just look at that. It is awesome. An awesome train. Through the old Rochester platforms. But yeah, hopefully everyone has been enjoying the Class 700 content. It's been, as I said, great to be showing it off. I'm sure there'll be plenty more to come. This is Rochester. I like for Rochester Castle. And right round to the end of the platform. Here we are. Welcome to Rochester. There's the castle. There it is, and there's the cathedral. Rochester. I think it is Rochester City. But I think no, it's not a city. I think it was a city, but then it sort of got, well, it got the city title taken away with it. Let's have a look. Rochester. Yeah, I think Rochester. It was a city. Yeah, the only British city to ever lose its city status, and it was Rochester. It seems, yeah, in 2002. Cool. So it used to be a city, but not anymore. Well, I think they want to sort of combine all of the Medway towns into one. So it's like the city of Medway. I think that's like a plan they have. Sort of merge them all into one big line. And off we go. Leaving Rochester behind. Cool. Nice bit of flange sounds. Sound good as well. I don't know if they're sort of generic ones, but they sound good. And it's down to 20 and then down to 15 coming into Strood. It's quite slow. And also I think sometimes as well, when this part of the line is shut, they can still run services to Rainham, but they go via Swanley. I think they do that when this line's blocked. Yeah, they can run the services via Swanley, so along the Chatham main line. And down to 15. Oh, there's actually no 15 board. It's just sort of, well, here. Once you get to the points. Here we are. And right towards the end here as well. Got a 375 there on the left, running one of the services down to Tonbridge. There's the 456. I can't remember if there's an 8 coach stop marker. I'd always just remember going right to the end here. It seems completely unnecessary to go right to the end, but you just do it anyway. Yeah, is this an 8 to 12? Yeah, but the back of the train is like really sort of far down the platform. Yeah, so you've got a little bit of, if you're sort of rushing for the train, get out from the subway there, you've then got to run all the way down to here just to get on. You would sort of think the stop marker would be on the banner repeater, or sort of on that same pole, but it's not. So I'll get the door shut. And it will be Higham next. We're off. A little bit of horn action there. Not the most exciting horn. And into Strood Tunnel, which says it is 2,127 metres. So what's that, about a mile and a third? Or 2.1 kilometres. Can't wait for the back of the train to pass the marker. Which is, what, probably about now? Yeah, let's start speeding up. There you go, that's going up. And 70 miles an hour through here. Then into Rainham station. Which we should be able to whiz into quite quick. And Rainham is, I'd say, probably near enough halfway, time-wise, to Dartford. Although I always sort of feel it's always just after Strood, or sort of when you're at Strood, you're sort of out of the slow bit after that. You get to go nice and quick the rest of the way. ESD, SD. $65. We got here another javelin there, yeah, another javelin. And into Rainham Tunnel. And about 70 miles an hour now. Which is, no, it's not the fastest. The fastest you can go on this route is between Gillingham and Rainham, which is 80 miles an hour. But you won't be at 80 for very long though. Especially with the adverse signals bringing you down. I wonder if they ever actually tested going to Faversham. Like a Faversham to Luton service. I wonder if they ever did test that. Sort of make it go slightly further. I know they had considered going to Ashford International. Ah. Well, we're going to go a little bit past that. We did that before, didn't we? We sort of flew into Rainham. It's just one of those stations which is really tempted to just sort of storm into at top speed. Although saying that, if we had stopped on the 8 coach stop, the back might have just been about off. Actually, I don't know, that would be tight though. It may have been. It's about a carriage and a half, maybe not. But it would have been close to hanging off the back. So maybe be slightly more careful at Rainham. Because yeah, we almost did that the last time we did this as well, but I suppose we came in slightly slower. And I think there I came in at about 50. So maybe don't fly into Rainham at 50 miles an hour when the stop marker's not even that far up the platform. That's our lesson learnt today. Where's 7? Look, 4, 5, 6, and then 8. Get 7 on there. Let's get the door shut, and it'll be Gravesend next. And another 700. Hello, 700 driver. Clearly haven't overshot the marker. We're off. Getting out of that place. Onwards to Gravesend. A little horn on there as well. Sounds much better from inside the cab, the horn, than on the outside. On the outside, it's like... it's alright, but on the inside, it's much nicer. So back up to 70 miles per hour. A little bit of whistle for who. suppose, yeah, that whistle board there must be for this foot crossing here, sort of just for yard workers. Obviously, you can very visibly see the train, you know, coming at you because it's straight this bit, but the other bit you're sort of coming around the corner. And it's probably the same for this crossing as well, sort of as you come around the corner. I think there's another one. Yeah, there it is there. Another yard crossing. Cool. Alright, just in the other 700. Wonder what the next train behind that is. Won't be far, will it? No, there's one terminating at Gravesend. One there. Okay, still a bit of a way then until the next one. But now we are sort of out of the core section of the route, which is, well, sort of Strood to Rainham. That's sort of the core section, or Rainham to Strood to Gillingham. But yeah, rush hour in the 700. Start popping that down to 50, which isn't too far along. Sort of just as we start going around the corner. I think this is the warning for it here. Yeah, there's the warning for it. No AWS magnet though. What with this one? This one might go off actually. Okay, maybe not. Right, let's start popping that down to 50. And shortly after that down to 30 as we come into Gravesend. But yeah, the Southeastern extension from Gravesend to Dartford, because originally the route only went from, well, it didn't go to Dartford, it went just to Gravesend on sort of the classic lines. I suppose this part of the line was literally just built for the 700. Just so you could run it slightly further. Because, well, Rainham to Gravesend would only be, what, half an hour. Let's try and get an exterior arrival shot. They're not usually ever that successful, but let's give it a go. Right, let's just get down to 30 first. Make sure we're sort of in off. There you go, we're in off. Right, as we come into Gravesend, right to the end of the platform here. They must be new sort of flange sounds. I can hear it at London Bridge as they scream in. I can hear it in my head. I don't know how much of that you saw because my Streamlabs froze, but I managed to save it, so we're all good. Just yeah, I don't know how much of the exterior arrival you heard. I think most of it though. Right, get the door shut. and it's onwards to Northfleet. So all the stations are now very close to one another for the, although still fast for the sort of final 15 minutes of the service. Doesn't take long. Yeah, you've got Northfleet, Swanscombe, Green Hive, Stone Crossing, then Dartford. All in a very short amount of... and you can see it if we quickly load up the map actually. You can see it here, we're going from there to there. Not there, even shorter. And there's, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stations. Where's that? So I suppose almost the equivalent of going back to Strood, but in that there was only one station. Let's get that up. It's 70 along here, so it's nice and quick. And we should be able to fly into Northfleet. Let's just try not to do a high M again. And go past the stop marker. Well, at this station it is the very end of the platform. So it's nice and easy to remember and stop for. Damn you, Higham. It's up the grade out of Gravesend. It's quite steep as well. Coming out of here. Proper climb up. And we see the line off. Line off to the left, which then joins up with High Speed 1. Which, I mean, technically, in the game, we probably could go on to and start running in AC power mode. But in real life, probably wouldn't work, as that's, well, the channel tunnel rail link, not just any overhead wires. But yeah, now approaching Northfleet. That'd be fun though, running the 700 on High Speed 1. An ominous idea we could give a go at some point. There we are, this is Northfleet. There we go. I'm stopping this time. Well, that's weird because the stop marker's sort of just out of the platform. Can anybody explain why it's like that? Because even if we did stop here, you know, sort of on the marker where we could sit on our left hand side, the front door would be off. Or it would at least be like right here, which is just not really ideal. So if anyone can explain why it's there, and same for the down platform as well, that would be awesome. Or has it been there since, I was going to say since the locomotives run along here, but I doubt it. I mean, it does look like quite a modern stop marker. No, it's just weird though, the way it's there. And Swanscombe next, which is just across the bridge. A couple of nice, quick and easy ones to tick off. We're off. And this is Swanscombe, which is right to the end here, so we don't need to worry about coming in at a nice gentle speed. Relatively long platform, nice easy one to see as well. So 40 miles an hour into that easily. And still can get quite a nice gentle stop as well. So yeah, if you are driving the 700, you can come in at 40 miles an hour, possibly even 45 into platforms, and still get a very nice, comfortable stop. It sounds very quick. I suppose if you're not that confident, don't come in at 40 or 45. Come in at the usual 30 or so. But if you've got a confident driver, then just come in at 40, 45. On this train you easily can. I mean, imagine if you were doing a -1 on the Brighton main line, if that ever happened, a 12 coach long platform, you could probably even come in at 50 and still get a nice stop. Do love the sort of the slamming door. I like that. You can hear that really sort of audibly from the cab. So Green Hive next, where you would delightful Blue Water Shopping Centre. What's that up there? When I first saw that, I was thinking that's one of those Go Ape, or one of those climbing, one of those climbing, what's the word? One of those climbing adventure things you can do. It looked like one of those, sort of one of the platforms, but no. You've got a coasting board there. Well, really, we don't need to coast. We can still speed up as we stop Swanscombe. We'll coast around now. Still 70 miles an hour. I think the next speed drop is 50. Just after, well, not quite a bit after Stone Crossing. And we are coming into Green Hive. Entering the platform at 45 miles an hour. It's right to the end of this one. So I'll take off the brakes a little bit more, and then come in for a relatively nice, gentleish stop. Gentleish. Yeah, so that was 45 miles an hour there into Green Hive, which I suppose is a 12 coach platform. But yeah, no, probably a 12 coach platform, or very close to being it. Well, they'll probably come into Stone Crossing a bit slower, as I don't think we go right to the end at Stone Crossing. A few more seconds. Now. Right, let's go. Medway Hill, the brake sort of coming off. Let's get that off as well. Always leave a little bit early, 20 as long as the ring's gone round. You want to close the doors about 20 seconds before departure time. And then Stone Crossing's just round the corner. There it is. Start coasting that. Feels like it's a little bit uphill here. Well, it looks like it's downhill, but it feels like, let's have a look. Oh, it is downhill. -1 in 6:12. So very, very gradual. And I think it's the sort of second set of CCTV monitors which we want to aim for. Well, actually, a third set. There's a little one there. And this is our one here. Well, this is Stone Crossing. And Dartford after this, which will be our final stop before there's a driver change. And we'll also have a look to see how long you actually would wait until another service came in. Because I've had quite a few sort of comments saying, I mean, I'm recording this before it actually does come out, but I've had a few comments sort of already saying, could you sort of stay on the same train all day long? Which, no, you couldn't, but you could do a return from Dartford to Rainham and back. And then I want to see, yeah, how long you actually have to wait at Dartford for a service. I'm guessing probably, what, 10-15 minutes? Which is probably a nice amount of time. Right, let's go. It is going to be Dartford next. I always like to pan the camera down a little bit, because sort of having that top bit there feels like a spaceship when you do that. Like what you'd see in like a Star Wars game, and like the handle, the AWS button would be like the shooter or something. I don't know, it does look a bit like a spaceship, doesn't it? Like that. So I like sort of just having that down just a little bit, so it looks a bit more like a train. What have we got coming along here? 465. The last 700 we saw, that was like Green Hive, I think. Was it Green Hive? Yeah, so you probably, yeah, probably about 10 minutes, but we'll check anyway. Once we get to Dartford, sort of how long it will then be to then go back. But you probably won't be waiting long though. And it comes down even further. That AWS before acknowledge it before it even did the audible alarm. And pop that down a bit more. Got a double yellow there. And then down to 20 as we come into Dartford. Yeah, not a bad service. I did sort of hope we would be chasing more yellows, as it is sort of being a peak time. But I know there was a service going back the other direction, which I was originally going to do. But then I thought this one's sort of more rush hour as we're going into sort of in towards London. But it took about 52 minutes instead of the usual 47. Which yeah, was the other one, starting at the same time as this one. Just going back the other way. But that felt less rush hour-y as it was going out. There you go, down to 20. Right, let's quickly fly over and have a little look to see how long you would be waiting. Obviously, imagine we're arriving in about a minute or so. Rainham, 8:28. So yeah, about 15 minutes you would have to, get a drink, get something to eat, and then hop back in the other 700. So that's not too bad. That's sort of a perfect amount of time. That's, I suppose, like when you get catching a bus, I suppose. You just miss one, you say, oh, 15 minutes, I'll wait for that. But anything more than that, so I'll walk. so you don't have to wait too long. Enough time to make a nice cuppa. Yeah, this is Dartford, and that does conclude today's 700 video. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed it. Links can be found in the usual places: Discord, PayPal, merch store. But after that, thanks for coming in, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See you all. Take care. Bye, guys.